Your official Monday Night Raw preview for Monday, December 18th, 2023. The very last Monday Night Raw of the year. Of course, next Monday night, it is Christmas. And WWE is going with a Best of Raw for 2023 themed show. Hosted by Peter Rosenberg, we can only hope the ultra-stunningly beautiful Kayla Braxton will be hosting with Peter Rosenberg, just in case some of us stumble upon this show for a couple of 2-3 minutes next week. Nobody is going to want to sit through 3 hours of Peter Rosenberg. Kayla Braxton will make it a little bit more manageable. But, all kidding aside, tonight is the very last live episode of Monday Night Raw for the year. After tonight, the company packs it in for the rest of the year. SmackDown has already been taped on Friday night, a double taping for SmackDown, the live show and then the tape show. We will go over the spoilers sometime later in the week for SmackDown, but WWE is packing it in for the holidays. After tonight, that's a wrap for 2023. Now, when we come back for Monday Night Raw live episodes, it'll be January 1st, 2024. They are theming that show Day 1. Now, that used to be a pay-per-view premium live event, but now they're just having a specially themed Raw so they can pop a rating. I'm okay with that. They got a big title match, Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. So as long as they pull it off correctly, should be a good show. But we'll have to wait a couple weeks for such. For tonight, speaking of Seth Rollins, he is heavy in the promotional material that was sent out earlier today. Seth Rollins is having a big promo tonight, and it's twofold. I'll explain what I mean in just a couple of minutes when we get to that part of the show. Also tonight, 3 big title matches. We'll be hitting the airwaves tonight. 2 tag team title matches and an intercontinental title defense. So we'll go over all that in a minute. And we'll start with, I gotta laugh. You guys know where I'm going with this. It's the holidays. I'll give you a little bit of a hint as to where we're going to begin. And this is all from the official WWE press release sheet. So this is what's happening tonight. And to give you a bigger hint of what I'm about to go over first, it's the holidays. It's a themed match. And a bigger hint, think Halloween. What do we usually do around Halloween, right? The trick or street fight. Somebody is going to be bobbing for apples. Somebody's going to be getting hit with the kendo stick that is dressed up as candy corn. Somebody's going to be wearing a pumpkin. Somebody's going through the table that has all the Halloween candy and food on it. And now it's the holidays. It's Christmas. So you're going to be getting the Miracle on 34th Street fight tonight. Now, that's not just what we're assuming, right? We're predicting it. It's most likely going to happen. No. That's happening. WWE has already confirmed it. We knew it anyway. But tonight's matchup will consist of JD McDonuts taking on R-Truth. So you know you're going to have people going through a bunch of empty Christmas gifts, giant Christmas presents, getting powerbombed through it or dive bombed up at the staging area. You're going to have all the fake Christmas trees on the stage and maybe around ringside. Maybe there'll be a Christmas buffet that somebody will be getting slammed through. The kendo sticks will be dressed up not as candy corn, not Halloween. They'll be dressed up as candy canes, right? Candy cane kendo sticks. You'll be getting all of the things tonight. And I know, BC, laugh a little, man. It's tradition. I get you. Some traditions, hear me out. Some traditions, it's very okay if we just stop them. These holiday-themed matchups, it's okay if we just stop them. It's not funny anymore. It's hurting the wrestlers. It really is, guys. Every year, we're just playing a game of who's going to wear the giant pumpkin on their head for the Halloween trick or street fight. How is that not sad to see Otis with a pumpkin on his head? Or even Miz stumbling around with a pumpkin on his head. Dolph Ziggler in the past with a pumpkin on his head. Who was it this year? Was it Piper Niven, one half of your tag title holders with a giant pumpkin on her head. Bobbing for apples. Who was it? Was it Chelsea Green just bobbing for... I don't even know. But it's not helping your performers. It's kind of embarrassing to a point. I could see if we were all truly laughing and it's a tradition we all look forward to. But what if we went a little bit with a different approach? What if we took that TV time and actually committed ourselves to some really good creativity? You can even infuse a holiday theme, but make it more impactful and make it more memorable. Just a crazy concept. Let's start new traditions. Let's make these holiday shows and matches actually fun or even funny. If it's comedy you want, make it funny. But this, man, JD McDonuts versus R-Truth. Miracle on 34th Street fight. Maybe there'll even be a mistletoe, right? R-Truth will come across Rhea Ripley somehow. Truth is trying to get in with Judgment Day. Or maybe R-Truth and Maxine find their way underneath the mistletoe, right? Alpha Academy's trying to get R-Truth to wake up and get away from Judgment Day. Either way, don't be shocked if there's a mistletoe somewhere in the match or the night. This is what WWE does. They will get ultra corny when it comes to the holidays. But anyway, guys, that is a real thing happening tonight. You should have known. Miracle on 34th Street fight. R-Truth is involved. This is going to be, they're going to hope that this is a giggle fest. They're going to hope that they make you laugh, put smiles on your face, and that you enjoy the tradition of WWE. Anyway, moving on. Sethington Rollins. He has a big promo tonight. Now, the official. Now, this is what the current press release says. Seth freaking Rollins, because you got to add the freaking in. You got to say freaking, otherwise we're talking about another Sethington. Seth freaking Rollins addresses his Day 1 World Heavyweight title match against Drew McIntyre, period. However, earlier today, WWE sent marketing material through the social doohickey platforms, and it said a little something different. It said the exact same thing to start, right? Seth freaking Rollins addresses his Day 1 World Heavyweight title match against Drew McIntyre. And then it says, and will he have more to say about CM Punk with a microphone emoji? So WWE is very smart. They know that the money, the attention, the focus, the spotlight is not on Drew and Seth. We just saw that match. We just saw all the story leading up to it. And now we're just doing it again. So that's not going to really pique the curiosity and the intrigue of many fans to hear Seth Rollins talk more about Drew McIntyre. They know that to really hook you in this promotional and marketing strategy of theirs, they're going to add CM Punk's name. Now, with that said, and it's funny because here's the official preview now, as of just a few hours before the show, and they took out the CM Punk part. But if you're wondering, yes, Seth Rollins absolutely has to bring up CM Punk again. And it can't be no 5-year-old little verbal jab that makes people go, ooh. No, it has to have substance to it. Whatever Rollins says about Punk, because I don't believe Punk is there tonight. He's not promoted for the show. But Seth Rollins has to say something about Punk that has substance and it carries weight so that when Punk returns, he can volley that back and we're off to the races, right? It's all about working with one another now. No matter what real animosity and tensions exist between the two, now you got to put your big boy pants on and do real big boy business. Now you have to literally work everybody, even if it includes themselves. So I look forward to Seth Rollins furthering something with Punk tonight. Just in his words, but make it fun and be creative. Not just a verbal jab that makes people go, ooh, what a dig. No, work it smartly so that Punk has something to work with when he comes back. Hopefully that makes sense. So a big promo by Seth Rollins. Or will it be? Maybe it's a whole lot of nothing. That's why they put on the show. That's why we will be tuning in. 3 title matches, guys. You ready for this? Piper Niven and Chelsea Green will defend their WWE Women's Tag Team titles against Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Now, the general consensus in the wrestling community is most of us are on board with Carter and Chance. I'm really big on Kaden Carter, but that's a lot also because I'm uber attracted to that female. She's just so beautiful. But also wrestling-wise, Chance and Carter, they gel so good together. It's a legitimate tag team. And in time, it would be cool for them to have a really good storyline and eventually maybe even capture tag titles. Knowing WWE, they could do something wild and just put the titles on them on a random Monday Night Raw before the holidays. And the thing is that most fans will probably be okay with it because Piper Niven and Chelsea Green are doing nothing with the titles. Chelsea is hitting it out of the park, everything she's asked to do, by the way. Chelsea Green is great for the company. She really is. And even if that's a hot take, she's so good at storylines and character development, and she gets genuine laughs out of BC a lot of the time. But with the tag titles, it's just fallen to the wayside. And Piper Niven just storming into Adam Pearce's office, taking the tag title when, who was it? Sonya Deville, I believe, got injured. Piper Niven just declared herself champion, and Adam Pearce was just like, okay, that would never happen. Like, that's not even believable. And they kept this charade up the entire time to where they're actually saying Piper Niven is a champion. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of reasons why a lot of fans would just be okay with them losing the titles. And a lot of people like Chance and Carter, so they're like, screw it. Maybe this will be the start of a real tag team division. But unfortunately, that's where you're fooling yourself. I'm okay if they give it to Carter and Chance. But let's not act like this is going to be the precipice, the beginning, the intro to a grand tag team division. If Sasha Banks and Bayley couldn't do that because they weren't given the resources to do such, if Sasha Banks and Trinity Fatu, Naomi, were not able to do that because they weren't given the resources to do such, or a Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, which believably, realistically, nobody would ever be able to beat, but they couldn't even really jumpstart the division. I doubt very much Carter and Chance are going to do it unless Paul Levesque McMahon just gave them every rocket in the history of rockets and put it on their back and said, see ya if you ever come down. Other than that, this is just going to be another odd title exchange with an odd title reign. And then we're just going to throw two people together in a few weeks and they'll take it from Carter and Chance. I don't know. That's if they even give the titles to a couple of faces. At this point, we're getting so close to WrestleMania, that's when a heel tag team should be dropping the titles to a big face team. But everything's up in the air. But that's a big title match. Don't know how if you were the head booker, who you having go over here? Who's walking out with the titles? The dudes, you got a question as well, because you have the Creed brothers challenging for Judgment Day's undisputed WWE tag team titles on the men's side. So you're going to have Balor and Priest defending the tag titles against the Creed brothers. Now, speaking of Paul Levesque McMahon putting rockets on people's back, he's got something with the Creed brothers lately. I mean, he's really high on them. I don't know if he thinks they're going to be the next Steiner brothers, but they're getting ultimate TV time, big tag team matches and victories, and they're coming to save people like Cody Rhodes last week and several other individuals. Creed brothers made 2 saves last week. And I've said this many times, the Creed brothers, man, they can wrestle. I like them. I'm not captivated by them. I'm not intrigued by them. On the microphone, they put me to sleep. The good news is the company knows that, so they don't give them the microphone. They just put them in the ring so they can do all the amateur wrestling suplexes. And I do call them vacuum cleaners for pro wrestling, because if there's charisma and personality, they will suck them up with their vacuum cleaners. They're human vacuum cleaners. I just don't know why the Creed brothers were just plucked to go to the mountaintop. It's beyond me. I feel we're going further and further from larger than life characters, right? And individuals that really pique our curiosity and make us jump out of our seats like, oh, it's them. But the Creed brothers, could you imagine if they win tag gold tonight, this close to WrestleMania? And then Gunther is going to defend his title against the Intercontinental title against Miz And they have it promoted as a high-stakes Survivor Series rematch. Now, on the promotional material that they sent out earlier today, they said one final time Miz gets a chance at Gunther's title. One final time. It's amazing. You can lose championship matches and you get more and more chances. Could you imagine losing the Super Bowl and getting another opportunity like a few weeks later? Like Super Bowl 32 when the Packers lost to the Broncos. And we were all heartbroken as Packer fans. Could you imagine if the announcement from the National Football League said, hey, don't worry, in 3 weeks, the Packers get their rematch. It's the Super Bowl. Miz lost to Gunther. Bottom line. Back of the line, dude. Back of the line. We don't honor anything anymore. We're just like making matches. It doesn't even matter if it's realistic. It doesn't matter if it's believable. Piper Niven is storming into management's office and just taking a title and calling herself champ. And Adam Pearce is like, all right, what am I going to do? Roman Reigns has not defended the championship in what is going to be, by the time Rumble comes around, over 70 days. And nobody's doing anything about it. Back in the day, President Jack Tunney would take the title after 30 days if you didn't defend. These days, you can go 3 months. Nobody's going to do anything. Heels are taking on heels. Faces are taking on faces. It's the Paul Levesque McMahon era where there's a few things because Mania's around the corner that are piquing our interest, and that's what's helping us hold on tightly, right? It's the Punk and the Rollins. It's what's going to happen with Roman. Are they going to go Rock Roman? Are they going to go Cody Rhodes Roman Part 2? There's some interesting things with the top tier, the top echelon of the WWE, right? There's a lot of top faces: Randy Orton, CM Punk, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes. You could throw Sammy in there. So there's potential. It's just this company doesn't know how to put it all together. I put up a couple of uploads earlier, actually, and one of the topics is greatly talked about in that upload. We talk about how WWE basically has 500 plus writers, and yet they can't find creative for most of the roster. So if you're looking for a good discussion, check that out. I put that up a few hours ago. The other upload was for my Green Bay Packer fans or any NFL fans out there. We have a good discussion on Joe Barry, our defensive coordinator that is just imploding with our defense. So is it time to fire Joe Barry? I give you my candid, honest, amplified thoughts. And I put that up just about an hour ago. So a couple of uploads, and the next one will be the Monday Night Raw review. We're going to watch this show. I'll do my notes. I'll do my due diligence. I will watch this with a keen eye, and we will discuss it in full within the next 24 hours, the Monday Night Raw review. Until then, until next time, and there will be a next time, top guys were out. Current status BC saying check you. The final Monday Night Raw of 2023. Let's get it.